Chantel Branch, and I am super excited. Listen, it's Valentine's Day, and our hearts are ready to receive a new boo, or uh, it's the holiday that is celebrated throughout the world, and it's the month of love. But I, as your self love specialist, want to make sure that you have hit the love reset button and that you have decided to give yourself the best and that you really truly understand what that means, what that looks like, and not just what your mom accepted, what your sister accepted, what your best friend accepted, but really truly knowing who you are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, psychologically. Girl, listen, you just need to know you for real. So, I have an amazing special guest today. Her name is Dr. Jennifer Matthews. But before we get into her credentials, let me just tell you about a story of love. And it is a quite unique story because this episode of the Identity Woman podcast is entitled Runaway Groom.
I love the title.
And although, we think of the movie Runaway Bride and she's just running away and she's running from true love. And we like, girl, if that was me, I would just turn around and marry him. Okay. But here we have a groom who one moment it was what looked like the best day of his wife's life, of his life. It was starting and embarking on a new journey of love with the one that you have decided to call your own. And then something happened, and he decided that he just couldn't do it. And although he went through with everything, in that moment, something happened and shifted. And a thought became a thing, and he acted on it, and he became the runaway groom. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Dr. Jennifer, welcome to the Identity Woman podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So I just want to kick this conversation off. I want to thank you so much for your bravery, for your authenticity, your ability to just shed light on your heartbreak, and not just the heartbreak, because we have all had our first love. We have all experienced heartbreak, but yours was, in a sense, when we think about it publicly, it's devastating.
Yes.
It is almost like unforgivable.
Almost.
And I just want to share with our viewers what was the most unforgivable act. And let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
So you met a guy.
I met a guy.
And then what happened?
Well, if we're starting from the beginning, I want to say I went on vacation.
Oh, okay.
That's what I really want to say.
Okay.
I went on vacation to the Dominican Republic. When I was on vacation, I did not set out to meet a guy. I set out to go have fun with my best friend. That's what I set out to do. I'm out here. I'm going to go live my best life. I'm going to go sun and at the pool. I'm going to go to the clubs. I'm going to dance the night away. I'm going to stay up all day and not sleep. That's what I set out to do.
Oh, so this was a party.
That's what it was.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Now, see, that's how you go out of town. You go out of town and you plan to party, so you condition your body and your mind, and you condition your wallet.
That's what I did.
To meet those needs.
That's it. That's what I had, all that preparation.
Okay, wonderful.
That's what I was there to do.
Okay.
However, when I got there, in the midst of doing all of that, I met a guy.
Oh. Okay.
So in meeting him, the thought was never, oh, it's going to last forever. That was never my thought. It was like, oh, I met this guy, let's go party. And that's what we did, So we went out to the club and we had a really great time. We danced the night away, hung out, laughed, joked. It was perfect. Went back to he went wherever he went, and then me and my friend went to our resort. And I never thought that I would see him again. But just so happened I did. And so I saw him, I want to say maybe 1 or 2 days again. After that, we hung out some more. And when it was time for me to go home, he told me he wanted to keep in touch. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was single, so it wasn't like harm or foul to keep in contact with him. And so that's what I did, but it was still like lighthearted. It was
Okay.
not, anything heavy. Oh. So in talking with him and communicating with him, he let me know once I got back home that he was interested in something more. And I'm thinking to myself, what does something more look like if you're in the Dominican Republic and I'm in the United States? And so he was very detailed in his answer and telling me that he was open to a long distance relationship, and eventually, if it worked out, that he would be willing to come to the United States.
So you meet a guy, you come to the you meet a guy, he pursues you.
Absolutely.
And because listen, we on vacation, vacation, vacation,
Come
vacation.
on now.
We're not. I don't know because I don't know how it's like being on vacation. I just for me, whenever I get the opportunity, I I just love to relax. I love to chill,
Okay.
and but I love to have a good time too.
Okay.
So those are just my expectations. So I don't know what the expectations are. I don't know what your expectations
Mine
are.
is to party on vacation.
Oh, she said
That's
the
my
party. The
that's my
party to
vacation. It's the
party.
party. I want to
Okay.
have a good time. I'm just letting my hair down on vacation.
Okay. So you're partying on vacation. You
Yes.
meet a gentleman. He pursues you
Yes.
and says, "Hey, I want to talk to you outside. I want to talk to you inside of the United States. I want to communicate with you. I want to um, see what's up."
Yeah. See if it could last longer than your vacation.
Right, because on vacation it's just good a good
Fun.
time.
Fun. That's it. That's it. And that's
Okay.
all I saw it as.
Okay.
It's just fun.
Okay.
So when he wanted to take it further, I'm like, well, we can see. Like we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So that's what we did. And I felt like, yes, it was a long distance relationship, but he was very attentive. He was very.
When you say attentive, like what were some of the things that he did to show you that he was attentive?
So we had very long conversations.
Okay.
He was very inquisitive about my life. He was very open with his life. He was very hands on in like, how was your day? What is going on in your life? Like, just he was into me. I could tell he was like into me, wanting to know about me and wanting to share what was going on with his life. He was just very open. He was very um, open to incorporating me into his life and vice versa.
Okay, so how long had it been when you decided I'm good with incorporating him into my life?
I would say maybe after about 30 days.
Okay, so when you say incorporate into your life, meaning like it's Sunday night, I fall asleep, I wake up, and I know that I should have some type of communication from him.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember we were kind of on different time zones at the time. So I know that maybe like he'd be at work. Like, of course, I'm at work different hours. He's at work different hours. So not that I knew his schedule, I can't really recall now, but I know, like, let's say he's at work and I'm sleeping, then I know if I've fallen asleep, then he'll be done text me when I woke up and vice versa.
Okay.
Or like, let's say he's off, we'll like uh, not FaceTime because I don't have an iPhone, but like video chat on WhatsApp. So we'd be on WhatsApp video chatting majority of the time.
Okay, so you're having this communication with him. He obviously was physically attractive, and he's
Oh yeah.
obviously um, saying some things verbally that's getting your wheels turning, right?
Yes.
That's intriguing you and making you like, okay, what's up, bro?
Exactly.
And now it's to the point that every morning for the maybe first 30 to 60, maybe 90 days, you are anticipating a communication from this individual.
But not only just the morning, like throughout the day. Like we would
Okay.
probably talk maybe 4 or 5 times a day. And I would say 2 of those times would be via video chat. So I
Okay.
never, like, even though it was a long distance relationship, I didn't really feel like he was so far away
Wow.
because I'm looking at him.
So one of the things that I love about relationships, when I think about love, when I think about true love, is intimacy.
Yeah.
So you were at a place where you are physically apart from each other, but there was an intimacy that began to just hit your soul.
Yes, yes, because I felt connected to him. And like I didn't feel like so distant to him. So like if he's at work, he talks to me while he was at work. If he's at home, he talks to me while he was at home. But we're video chatting, so I can see his home. He can see my home. He's at work, I can see his work. Like if he's with his son, I can see his son. If he's with his family, I can see his family. Like he was literally incorporating me into everything. And then he like even put them on the phone too. Like, oh, this is my girlfriend, or like that. Like he was really incorporating me into his world.
So, at this point, how many days has it been?
I would say with incorporating me, it was like just a continuous thing. So I would say 90 days now.
So, 90 day Beyonce, hold up. Yes, yes, that's it. Okay, so it's 90 days.
Yes.
Your heart is fluttering. You have butterflies cooking. Them butterflies just rolling over. I don't even know if they're alive.
Yes.
They're fluttering in your stomach. You are like, oh my God, I think I feel my baby leap.
Right.
And you feel like you falling for him.
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. So I hear some hesitation. So what happened next? So now I feel like
you want me to go back?
Yep, I want you to start there.
Okay. So now we're in a relationship and we're feeling like it can go further. So he's like, what are our next steps, so to speak? So I'm like, I need to visit you again. That's what I'm saying in my mind, because it has been long distance. I'm thinking to myself, if I really want to pursue him again, I've only spent, let's say 4 or 5 days with him in person. I need to visit him again, to see him, to make sure that like the spark is there, to make sure he is who I think he is. Because remember, majority of the time we spend more time via the phone than we have in person. So I'm like, let me go and see him again. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go visit him again. And that's what I decided to do. So I started planning that part.
You're feeling him emotionally, mentally,
yes,
and psychologically, because he's already in your head now.
He's there.
He is in your head.
He was there.
And this intimacy is happening. This connection is happening. And you're like, I just need to know it's real.
Yes. Because sometimes we don't trust our own thoughts.
Yes.
Sometimes we're hesitant. To go further, he does live in the Dominican Republic. I do live in the United States. Those are two different countries.
Absolutely.
If I'm going to pursue this further, if I'm truly going to incorporate him into my family, I need to be sure. I don't need to be doubting myself. That's what I was thinking in that moment.
Okay. Excellent. So, how do we get to an engagement, a proposal? What had happened was?
So what happened was I ended up going back to visit him. I want to say maybe it was probably, I'm approximating now because I promise you I can't remember exact dates or anything. I want to say maybe 8 months in after the initial. So I went to see him about approximately like 8 months later.
So after the sprung phase.
Exactly.
Okay.
After that, but I'm still like,
you're conscious. You feel as though you are conscious about this relationship.
Yes.
Because one thing that is in the back of your mind is that this is long distance.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking. Like, this is long distance, but I'm happy. He keeps me happy. He makes me happy. He makes my heart happy is what I was thinking. Like, okay, I'm happy, but let me just make sure. So I go back to visit him. So he had like all planned. He knew I was coming. He had like all planned for me. Like literally he had an agenda for me. Like an itinerary for every single day. Like we gotta do this, we gotta do. And I'm just like, you was really ready for me. And that made me happy. Mm-hmm. Because I'll tell you, when I go on vacation with all of my friends, they call me the entertainment director. I am the one who's gonna map out the day to day to day to day. So when I went back and he had done that for me, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yes, like, wow, you did that, all this for me?
Wow.
And another thing, so he had the agenda, but I had booked the resort. I had booked the resort for us. When I got there, he had like upgraded everything. I'm like, for me? Like, that really took some thought, that really took some planning. And I was just like, wow, like, I felt like he really loved me enough to do all of that.
Okay.
So that just like really like sent me. I'm just like, wow.
Girl, he done hit you in the head with a book.
Okay.
Girl, hey, girl.
I felt like
he was
showing me,
paying attention to you.
yes.
And not only did he didn't say anything, he just showed you.
He wasn't just talking, he was showing.
And that's what we like about men.
Come on now. Yes. He was showing me. He wasn't just talking. Because what do we say? Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely, 100%.
And what was he doing?
He was like, babe, I got you, girl. You need an itinerary. You the kind of woman that needs an itinerary.
Exactly. And I am.
Don't just show up telling me when this is happening.
Or we'll wing it. I'm be like,
I'm a wing it. She would not want to be on vacation with me. I'm like, girl,
well,
we just woke up. Like,
well, we can wing it on vacation,
okay.
But like in life and every day, I can't wing it.
Okay.
But on vacation, we could totally wing it.
Okay.
But when I went back, I felt like we had certain things we needed to do. Mm-hmm. Like, he knew I needed to meet his family, okay. You know, because I had been talking to them.
So intentionality was happening.
Exactly.
And he was good with this.
He was so great with it.
Did you see that any signs at this moment that he's just putting on the show, or he
was so
disingenuous?
Genuine. Oh, no. Oh, no. He was so genuine. When I tell you genuine, literally he had a red carpet, okay? Everything. He had everything planned out, everything laid out, just everything. Mm-hmm. Wanted for nothing, looked for nothing. It was just everything. I couldn't have planned it better. Like, literally, we got to the room. He had the room decorated for me, everything. I'm just like,
okay, so I need a little side business. So husband, listen, by this package, we're going to have everything ready for you when you get to the room.
Do it. You better do it.
Your car, brother.
You better do it. Honey, the women will swoon. Okay. Because I was I'm just like, can it get any better? And he just kept showing me it could. He just kept showing me it could. And I'm just like, he was really listening all that time. Because remember, we're talking on the phone. He listened. To me, it showed he was really listening. Like, he wasn't
just holding the phone.
He
like,
was
I was, okay, what to say now? Now, yeah, I love you, baby. All right, talk to you later. He was like, no, I hear you.
I see you.
I see you. And
your feelings are valid.
And you needed that at that moment.
I needed all of that. I needed that. So he was intentional and I was intentional, and it just like meshed together in that moment. So everything that we have been talking about, he was producing it, if you will. Okay. So I'm happy. I'm like, okay, thank you. So the whole trip, it was amazing. It was one day, it was kind of crazy because I ended up getting sick. Okay. I don't even know what, it was a bug in the air, I guess. And all I did was sleep that whole day. I'm just sleep. By the pool, sleep. And my friend, she actually went with me too, and they had a good time. So she had time to like pick his brain and everything. And she was like, don't hurt my friend. She literally told him, like, don't hurt my friend. He was like, no, I would never, you know. That's what he was telling her. She was like, okay, I don't play about my friend. Don't hurt my friend. But I was sick that day, and literally like the next day I was fine. So I don't know what kind of bug I had, but I was sick that one of the days, and so we didn't get to do as much that particular day. But all the other days, it was an amazing trip. I got to meet all of his family. Like, he literally rounded them up. Wow. And you know how people are busy, and that's what I mean by being intentional and planning things. People are busy. They got things to do. He rounded up his family. I tell you, I met so many family members of his, I lost count.
Wow. So take us to the day of the engagement.
The day of the engagement, it was actually the last night that I was there.
Absolutely blew your mind.
It was beautiful. Roses on the bed. It was like roses, like in the sitting area as well, and in the middle was the ring. In the middle, and I was just like, oh, when I saw it, and that's when he asked me to marry him.
So I have a serious question or a tough question. What made you say yes so fast? It had been 8 months,
9 months,
eight,
yeah.
9 months at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen each other how many times
This
physically?
is the second time.
Second
in
time
person.
physically. Oh, second time in person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what made you say yes?
I said yes because I said yes because I was in love with him. I felt like he got me. I felt like not only like I felt like we had a strong bond. I felt like I could talk to him about anything, and for me that was like a requirement and a soulmate. Like, not saying he was my soulmate, but I felt like he was my person. I'll say that.
I mean, when we think about marriage and we think about the covenant and we think about the commitment
right.
that a man and a woman has to each other, you absolutely think soulmate.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't want to say that though.
You can't. So in hindsight,
No,
or
still then. No,
you said no, not still then.
No, yeah, I felt like he was my person, but
Okay.
not necessarily soulmate. Like I don't think that. Like I don't think I've ever said that about a person. Like soulmate.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to say soulmate. I want to
We
say
cancel that word.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Scratch
Cancel
that.
that word.
It's scratched out.
Yeah, but person. I felt like he
Okay.
was my person.
Okay.
Like I felt like he got me. I felt like he understood me. Like I could be myself around him. You know what I mean? Like I remember how I was saying like I was sick. I felt like he took care of me. Like that. Like I felt like he was my
Through
person.
sickness and health.
There
Come
you
on
go.
now.
Exactly. So I felt like he was my person.
And it's like so what I'm hearing is he was so intentional on being the best that he could be for you.
Yeah.
And in your eyes, in your experience with this individual, it felt authentic.
It
felt
did.
so real.
Yes.
It was like, well, God, why didn't you send him 10 years ago? Lord, you know I needed him then. I know I wasn't ready, but listen, God.
Yes.
And you said yes, and because you felt like it was your person, you believed, you
100%.
believed it, and
My
us
whole
as
heart.
women, we put the whole heart in there.
I did.
We
promise.
do.
I was like, he gets me. Yes, I'll marry you. You get me. I can be myself with you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you have planned out this extravagant wedding. You have Tiffany gifts.
Tiffany was my color. Tiffany blue was my color.
Tiffany blue was your color.
Yes.
You had luscious gifts for your wedding attendees.
Yes.
And you planned out every single detail. You had a playlist for this, a playlist for that.
His favorite music on the playlist.
His favorite music.
Because I thought of him.
Because he was from
the
Dominican Republic.
So he had a particular style of music that he loved. Yes.
Okay, listen.
You know it.
And so it was not only your nurturing of this individual, because it seemed as though he loved you so much,
yes.
but it was also just in your nature to just
totally in my nature. That giving is in my nature, 100%. I'm definitely a giver.
And now it is the day of the wedding, and you are. Tell us about the day of the wedding.
The day of the wedding, it was beautiful. I wake up and everyone is at my house. It's my mom, it's him, it's me, it's my son, and I have everyone coming, like my friends and family coming to my house to take a Mercedes Sprinter bus to the venue so that we can all ride there in style. I have the makeup artist coming to my house. I have not only a videographer, but a photographer coming to my house to document the entire day, because so I'm getting dressed. I have on my all white. He has on his all white. My son has on his all white. And we're just waiting for the videographer, the photographer, and the makeup artist to get to my home so that we can be ready for the big day.
And you have a custom playlist
for the wedding.
And
the wedding reception.
For the wedding reception.
Yes.
And you have about how many wedding attendees?
I had approximately 35.
Approximately 35, because she is a super planner. Okay.
Super
project
player.
manager. She does.
Let's do this. And I have a video reel of our time together to play at the wedding reception too.
Okay, so you have everything planned. Like Tiffany blue is
the theme.
Your theme color.
Yeah.
You have the music, the ambiance, the venue, the decor.
Yes, it's beautiful.
You have picked out how many dresses?
2.
Only 2.
Only 2 dresses.
Only 2 dresses. So you have picked out 2 dresses, and this is the day that you have dreamed about all of your life, or all of your women. Okay, so your women.
Entire life.
So for me, you know, my woman adulthood, when I was a kid, I was like, I'm gonna get married, but it was like, that's it. I didn't have any vision. I just said, I'm gonna get married.
Okay.
but then there are some people, and I admire women who are like, I'm gonna get married, and I'm gonna wear a lace sleeve, and I'm gonna deck it out with pearls around my neck, and you know, and I admire that, because that is a gift. That's their function. And
yes, I knew I would be married one day, and I just knew I wanted to look beautiful.
That's it.
I did not have the vision of the dress.
Okay.
I just like, she got to be beautiful.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And I did that.
Okay. So you get married.
Yeah.
And
we're married.
All hell breaks loose. And you are like,
who is this person?
Excuse me, sir?
Who is this?
Could you go back and get him? Because
you must have left him in the Dominican Republic.
No, he's on the elevator, because I don't know who got off the elevator and married me and walked down the aisle and married me and said, I do to me. But
it wasn't you.
That was not the man that had wooed you, that had pursued you.
For 18 months.
At this point, it's 18 months, and you are baffled,
bamboozled,
bewildered, befuddled, you confused. There are so many words that you can put, because you can't get to anger yet, because you're just trying to understand what
I wasn't angry yet.
Going on.
No.
So what happened? His mood changed, and you were like, "Hey, babe, you hungry? You want me to?" Well, they're bringing your plate because I'm not fixing it. It's our wedding. Too soon. Too soon.
Actually, so we got married on a Friday, a perfect day, right? So you can have like the weekend, because literally, you know, he had just came over to America on the 90-day visa. So it wasn't like we can travel out of town.
Oh, you can't leave. Can you leave the state?
You can leave the state, but you can't like get on a plane.
You can't like go from Florida to Atlanta.
No, not on the plane.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
So for me, we had been doing this for so long. I was like, why don't we just do a staycation downtown? How beautiful is that? November.
So you're in what city?
Chicago.
So you're in Chicago, the dopest skyline in America.
Come on now.
The world.
Yes.
And it's November, so it's chilly, probably
it's
about 30, 20 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold.
It's cold.
But it wasn't like freezing. It was just nice. So
it
wasn't
decent. It wasn't quite below zero, and the wind wasn't whipping.
It was not.
But it was cold.
It was a beautiful day.
Put your coat on.
Put your coat on, but it was a beautiful day.
Okay.
And now it's my turn to plan.
Yes. So now you get to show him your city.
Exactly. So I had Rolls Royce take us to our hotel downtown.
Okay.
And it had the red carpet laid out for us. And so we get to the hotel and we get to the room and it's decorated. It's beautiful. Roses, candy, you name it. Everything is laid out. And it even says like, congratulations, because, you know, we've just got married. We're exhausted. Got time to just do whatever we want.
So this is after the wedding and after the reception?
Yes.
So after the wedding, then there was a reception
immediately.
So like how long was that? That was like
maybe 2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours. So
2 hours.
Wedding, reception, 2 hours.
Yep.
What time did you get married?
Like noon.
So noon. So it's about 2:00 in the afternoon on a
Friday.
On a Friday in November.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Exactly. Beautiful. Now we get to the hotel and our dinner reservations are like for 7.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of time to do whatever we
Go
feel like we
sleep.
want.
Shoot. I mean,
You know, that's what I did outside. I'm like, it's been a long day. Because,
Yeah.
you know, you get up early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me get out of this dress so I can give me a little bit of rest so we can party tonight. You know,
Yeah.
whatever we going to do, let's paint the town red, you know. So that's what we do. I went to sleep. I'm not sure exactly what he did because I was asleep. But I go to sleep, wake up. I'm like, okay, let's get ready. We got dinner reservations. So that's what we do. We go to dinner. We have a really good time. So I'm thinking, but he's kind of like, I'm like, how's the food? And he's like, it's okay. Like,
is he eating?
He was eating, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's just like not impressed.
He's not, okay. But is he talking to you?
He was talking.
Okay.
But the restaurant was Steak 48.
Oh. Okay.
That food is amazing. And I'm asking you how it is, and you're like, it's okay. I'm like, so I'm like, how you feeling? You know, after we eat, and he's like, I'm okay, you know. So we just end up going back to the room because I'm not like I'm trying to kind of gauge how he's feeling, if he wanted to do anything more. So I'm like, maybe he's tired. Let's just go back to the room. So like the next day, which was Saturday now, so it's Saturday downtown Chicago, even more beautiful than the day before.
Yes.
So I had like matching outfits and everything. So we're like matching and everything. So I'm like, I had us reservations at Hard Rock Cafe now. So we go to lunch at the Hard Rock Cafe, and he's like on his phone. Oh. Now he's not talking. What? So I'm like, hey, here I am. He's like, yeah, I'm talking to my family on the phone. I'm just like, what about me?
Right, like we just got married. Bruh, what's up?
Exactly. So it's super funny because I remember taking pictures on my phone of him on his phone.
Oh, wow.
That's how much he was on his phone while we were at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So then we went back to the room. We went back to the room, and I forget what we were doing, but we were like kind of hanging out in the hotel. And then I think I fell asleep again. Because I don't know why, but I fell asleep again. And then when I wake up, he's gone. And I'm like, When I wake up in the hotel room, it's empty. He's gone. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe he went and got ice in the hotel. Maybe he went to get some towels or something. Who knows? But he'll be right back. That's what I'm thinking to myself. So I felt like I had a few minutes. So I called my mom to check on my son. I'm like, this would be the perfect time. Check on my family, see how they're doing. So I called my mom. Like, he's fine. You should be enjoying your honeymoon. Don't worry about us. We good. I'm like, okay. So I talked to her for literally 3-4 minutes. And she was like, we're good. Enjoy your honeymoon. Bye. I'm like, okay. So then I called one of my friends. And she was like, hey, girl, how's your honeymoon? And I was telling her about it. And she was like, where is he at? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, wait a minute. What do you mean you don't know where your husband is? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, did you call him? I was like, oh. Maybe I should call him. So while I'm on the phone with her, I text him. I'm like, where are you? He says he's in the hotel lobby. Come down there. And I said, well, he said he's in the hotel lobby and I should come down. She was like, well, girl, go to the hotel lobby. Enjoy your honeymoon. I'm like, okay, bye. So I get dressed and I go down to the hotel lobby. And I get there and he's like in the hotel lobby drinking. So we brought his favorite bottle of liquor to the hotel room. So when we brought it, it wasn't opened. When I got to him that Saturday early evening, it was almost gone. I don't drink that liquor, only he does. And we only were in that room, some of Friday, some of Saturday. So he had to be drinking it while I was sleeping. So that's quite a lot that he was drinking. It was a pretty big bottle. And so I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, nothing. And so where we were, it was like a bar type atmosphere. And I'm like, so what's up? And he's like, nothing. And I could tell he was kind of drunk. A little bit, not even drunk. I'm not going to say drunk. I'll say he was tipsy. I'll say that. And this was the first time in my whole time of being with him that I had ever seen him like that. He never drank. not one time. And he didn't even want me to drink. He'd be like, you sure you want that drink? And I'm like, yeah. But this time he was drinking and he was tipsy. And I'm like, okay. So I tell him, I'm like, hey, let's go to the room. He's like, no, I'm not ready to go. And I'm like, okay, are you sure? So now he's kind of talking loud. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I'm like, you're kind of loud, let's just go to the room. And he's like, no, no, I don't want to go to the room. And I'm just like, okay, it's okay. I feel like you've been drinking a little bit and there's a lot of people down here. Let's go to the room together. And so he then, because he's like sitting down and I'm like sitting next to him, he has his like literally has his feet on the table. So this is a table here, but he has a table in front of him and his feet are on that table. So this is a public place, it's a hotel. You don't put your feet on people's furniture. That's not what you do in public. So I'm like, we should go. And so he proceeds to tell me like this with his hand in my face, no, no, you go. And I'm like, like taken aback by that because I had never seen that type of behavior from him before. And so I politely get up and I go to my room. And I left him in that lobby. And so then I called my friend back and I told her, and she was like, wait, what? What is happening? And I'm like, I don't know. So she and I talk on the phone for a little while longer, and eventually he comes back to the room and then he just goes to sleep. So the next day he wakes up like nothing ever happened.